what I want my smile line to look like here. The rest I will fill in with white. So that's my first bead. I'm going to pat that across. And again, try to come and shape it already as to what I want it to look like. If you want a V, then of course you'll go ahead and cut it down some. Just like this. That's bead number one. I know mine kind of matches the finger. But that's my first bead. When I laid it, I did it here. I didn't go to the cuticle. It's halfway. And then I came here and kind of pre-shaped it into a round. All right. My next bead, just to make it a little bit, this time I'm going to go to my cuticle area. Coming in, picking it up. And I'm going to sit it down. And this one will be here at the cuticle area. So I'm going to push it into my cuticle area as close as I can get it, flatten it across, and then go ahead and blend this down. So I'm already kind of setting myself up for my French. My next bead, because I do want it to be kind of high when I do go into my white, I don't want it to run into this. So the next one is going to pretty much just kind of put in a little bit more product to thicken up this portion. So when I go in and lay my white, it doesn't run on top of my French.
So you're gonna make it a little bit thick?
Yeah, make that thick. So therefore, you know, when you lay your white, it don't run on top of it. It kind of feels right in here.
Okay.
So I go through and I do this step on all 10 nails before I even do my white. I come around, kind of look at it, make sure it's high and thick here. See here my area around the side, so therefore, you know, my white doesn't run on top of it when I do. And again, you can go thicker if you need to, because we can always come back and foul it down. So that's my first bead. Again, I'll go with another one, because I do want to make sure this area is good, because I want it to be really kind of crisp here when I do come in and lay my white. So I'm just kind of coming in again and just making it kind of thick. Keeping my shape. Now, once I go through and I lay all 10 of these, I do come back, and it's a lot of work doing a solar set, and this is why it's probably one of the most costly sets too in the shop. You'll notice that solar is very, my brother don't want anything. He's in jail, he has time. I don't. I'm working. All right, and so I go and I do this to all 10 nails. After I have kind of pre-set up my smile line, I do come back in with my foul and I make it very crisp before I lay my white.
But whenever it dries,
Yeah. So by the time you do 10, you know, come back and start back again, shape these up really, really nice, and then that's when we're gonna come back in with our white. So if everybody wanna focus on this little part right now, and I'll come around too before we get into our white. Okay. All right, so again, just one more time. This is my refill tube, since you guys are already over here. Most of the time your client comes back and this is what her nail looks like, right? Everything has growed out and she wants the same. Yeah, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna go in with a medium grit. Fine won't do the job. It's gonna be a little bit too smooth, and of course it'd be too much. All right, so medium. And she's coming back in for a refill. What you wanna do, and hopefully it's in this one. We're gonna come in, medium grit foul, and we're gonna smooth this out. Again, keeping your foul parallel, because we do not want to cut into her nail plate. This is kind of where rings of fire come in too, because they come in like this. That's cutting into her. But you want to always make sure you're staying parallel to the client's nail plate. And again, we're just kind of smoothing that out. And also, if she had any liftage, if you continue to do this, it will just pop away. Okay, you guys don't have to go in with your cuticle nippers. Again, we're just going to kind of flush that all together. Kind of like blending almost. All right. Again, just staying parallel. You guys notice I have not got on her nail plate. Just from me prepping the nail plate, I'm just kind of coming in and kind of smoothing this down so I can come back in with my product. After you have kind of flushed down that area, it's not high no more. We're graduating grits, coming back now with my sander to prepare the nail plate. Now, the only thing we're doing now is just preparing the nail plate. removing the shine off of here. So again, I'm parallel, I'm going straight, and I'm just removing any shine or any cuticle that may have accumulated while her nails were kind of being pushed out. Come back, remove all your dust, and then you're gonna prime or dehydrate, whatever your next step is. You'll go ahead and prime only on the area that's exposed, not the acrylic area. Again, remember to take some of your primer off. We don't want to flood it, and just come across. This is the only area that'll get primed. You don't have to prime the nail or the acrylic, just only the natural nail plate that's showing. Once that dries, then you just come back in and refill that area. Now, of course, if her apex or anything had pushed out, then you might have smoothed that out all the way down some and brought her apex back where it needs to go. But if everything looks good, you're just gonna come back in with your product. Refills are so easy. And you're just gonna come back and fill in. Cuticle area, and I push in and spread across, very thin layer, and then bring it down. That's a refill is so easy, you guys, and that's pretty much it. Now, if it's been 2-3 months, then that's where it's gonna start getting hard. I would say go ahead and suck her off, because by the time 2 to 3 months have came, her apex probably been pushed all the way down here. Either you can smooth it all the way out and make the nails flat, or again, just soak them off and give her a new set. Every 2 to 3 weeks, you guys, she should be coming back in and getting her nails refilled. We shouldn't have to rebalance. Me, I think I would do at least 3 refills before I say, okay, it's time to soak these off and let's get some new product back on. All right? So it's gonna be our refill. Now, pink and white. Now that this is dry, after I went do all 10 nails, I'm gonna come back and kind of shape up, come on, fingers stay on. Come around here and refine this smile line. And you're like, oh my God, it's a lot of work doing these. Yeah, but these cost a whole lot of money too. Like off top, short set, solar set, I'm starting on $75. If she's going this long and she wants a pink and white set, it's $100. All right, this is a lot of work. And I think your client would know too. Like these are, I think it's why I say solar nails, because they get you to understand that, hey, this is a whole totally different. You know what I'm saying? This is why it costs so much and you're paying for it. But clients used to always get, I want solar nails. I want solar nails. It was a very popular thing at one point. And again, I'm just gonna come in and refine my smile line. I think right here too, you'll be able to notice if you need more product somewhere, you know, to add more so it can be thick when you do put your white in. And again, if you wanted a V shape or whatever you did, you just would file it, or when you first laid it, you would already kind of like pre-put it in the shape that you wanted. This should be pretty good. And this is like, I know you guys in the video and you say like, oh my God, trust the process, because the white just kind of be everywhere. So same thing. You're pretty much just going to be filling in with your white. There's really no method to this part. Just kind of come in and fill in. So just coming in, putting your white acrylic, get into all the areas. If it gets on top of that font, that's fine. We actually want that so we can see how even this is. So if it gets on that, that's fine. I know you guys have plenty YouTube videos out there that does the same exact thing, but so you're just pretty much just kind of filling in with your white. This can be done in any color, nudes and purples. It doesn't have to be just pink and white. You can achieve this with any color. Yellows, whatever French look that she wants to go for. But of course, the most popular is pink and white. For some people, just drawing it on is easier, and that's fine. But just know that the gel, you know what I'm saying? Like it just gets messy or starts to chip or anything. So I think just with the acrylic is just know that you're gonna have like a long lasting pink and white look versus with the gel. And again, just kind of filling in where your white needs to go. And so make sure I'm keeping my sides tapered while I'm doing this. So we're going over that part, and you'll see them do it as well, because we do want to make sure that the white and the nude is actually even. So when I come back and foul, it kind of all smooths together. You don't want to have a place where the nude is like too high and then there's no white there. So I'm just making sure that I kind of like fill in and make sure that it's all even. One more bead right there, because I can kind of see where the nude is still kind of high. And that's fine. Because once you come through and foul all this, you're going to see how it all just kind of comes together. So you'll probably have a look like this until you come through and foul it and smooth everything out. So it looks like all mine is even all the way around. I don't have an area where nothing's missing. And of course I go through and achieve all that on all 10 nails. I think I may have one little spot up in here. Looks like my French went up a little bit. There we go. Some time to dry, and then we'll foul it, and then you'll be able to see probably while it's going on. Do a little cleanup. But once you go, you just come. Yes. That's what I say. Trust the process. Okay. You can let your client know. Just trust the process. You know. I got you. And just see how it just comes out. All I did was just kind of right the lip. About my side with my foul. So just like that, you guys. And I'll come in with my foul, shape her up. Again, love Tammy Taylor's little foul. Come in, do my side. I'm pretty done. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm just gonna come through, shape her up, top coat her. If she wants some little bling, that's fine. But and we're pretty much done with those. But really crisp line, you don't have to, you know, like you don't have to worry about trying to draw it, because you pretty much pre-shaped it when you laid it, and you also fouled it to give it that real nice crisp smile line. So just like that, and I'm just coming in.